Astral projection and working with spirits. Hello everyone, this is Taliesin McKnight. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to go a little bit into astral projection and some techniques and everything, and I want to encourage people to try out this method. But first of all, this is something that I'm going to start doing again in my videos. We're going to do a little geomancy, y'all. If you have a coin, then we can do geomancy together. So if you have a coin handy, it could be a nickel, a penny, a dime, a quarter. I like a quarter because it's a little bit larger, but you're going to need a coin here in a minute, okay? So that is a whole other topic besides astral projection, is geomancy. So the main methods of divination in the Renaissance, of course we had chiromancy or palmistry, we had all kinds of things, but the two main methods that you would go to a Renaissance magician to have divination, one would be astrology. You could go to astrologers, but astrologers were often expensive and required an ability to calculate the heavens and all of that for a certain time. The other main method was geomancy. Now, the word geomancy, it was a way to communicate with planetary spirits. And this is a way that we could begin having a back and forth communication with our spirits, with planetary spirits, is through geomancy. Now, the word geomancy comes from the Greek root geo, or like Gaia, geo meaning earth, and manteia, which means divination. So geomancy literally means earth divination. This was often done by taking a stick and making marks in the desert sand or in the earth, okay, as a way to query. This is sometimes interpreted as a way to communicate with earth elementals. And then also in the Renaissance, geomancy was often used as a way to communicate with astrological spirits. So, Agrippa talks about geomancy in the 3 books of occult philosophy, and in Agrippa, or Pseudo-Agrippa's 4th book, there is included works on geomancy collected with it. So, the basic method is, you can use planetary hours. The method I normally use to communicate with astrological spirits using geomancy is to think of which of the 7 sacred planets governs your question. If you're asking about love, clearly that would be, you'd be asking the intelligence or spirit of Venus. If you want to know about riches or glory or things like that, you may do it in the hour of the sun and ask your question of the spirits of the sun. Or if you're wanting to know about, if you want to know something about dreams or intuition or childbirth, things like that, you would work with the moon. So basically, you would think which of the 7 sacred planets governs your question. And at the planetary hour, you would draw 2 circles, and in the center you would put the sigil of the intelligence of the planet. Some people do the spirit. I've used the Olympic spirits from the Arbitel, the Olympic spirits of the planets, and I've actually used quite a bit the sigil of the intelligences. Now, the sigil of the intelligences is found in Agrippa's 3 books of occult philosophy. Where did I put my 3 books? It's in book 2. Here we go. I opened it right at the spot. That's interesting. I just happened to open it up. So my camera is backwards here, but this is of Saturn, okay? So the sigil of the intelligence of Saturn is right here. This is the intelligence of Saturn. I would draw a double circle, put the sigil of the intelligence. The sigils of the intelligences of the planets are found in the three books of occult philosophy, Book 2, Chapter 22. So, Book 2, Chapter 22, that is shows the intelligences. So, we have the intelligence of Jupiter right here. So, what you would do is you would do a double circle, and within it, you would put the sigil of the planetary spirit. I like to write its name. And then at the planetary hour, you would just call the name of the intelligence several times, ask your question. And to get a geomantic figure, you would do 4 rows of dots, and you would count to see if it is an odd or even number. Even numbers become 2 dots, odd numbers become 1. Today we're using a coin. Now, you don't have to use planetary hours or planetary spirits. You could just go ahead and ask your question. And that's what we'll do today. So if you have a coin handy, we're about to do some geomancy, y'all. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip your coin 4 times. You're going to flip your coin 4 times to see if it's heads or tails. Now, it's totally arbitrary. There's either a 1 dot or a 2 dot. It's using binary. So it doesn't matter which one is head or tails. I usually do 1 dot for heads, 2 dots for tails. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip your coin 4 times and see if it's head or tails. If it is tails, then you're going to put 2 dots. If it is heads, then you're going to put 1 dot. So, get out your coin and think of a question. We're going to do some geomancy, y'all. Then we're going to talk about astral projection with the spirits. So, think of a question. What is something that you would like to know about? I already know what I want to know about. Okay, do you have a question in mind? So get out a coin. Okay, get out your coin. Alright, so we're going to flip the coin 4 times. If we get heads, we're going to put 1 dot. If we get tails, we'll put 2 dots, okay? So think of your question. I'm going to think of my question, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Do it with me. If you have a coin, we're going to do some geomancy. So I got tails, the first one. So I'm going to put 2 dots at the top. Okay? If you got tails like me, you'd put 2 dots. If you get heads, you put 1 dot. So now we're going to go again, holding the same question in mind. I got heads. So I'm going to put heads as 1 dot. I'm going to put 1 dot here. Okay. Alright. So if it's tails, it's 2 dots. If it's heads, it's 1 dot. Alright. Let's do it again. Alright. I got tails. So that's 2 dots. Alright. And then we're going to do this one more time. Hold your question. Okay. Thank God. I got acquisitio instead of another one I didn't want. Alright, you see how I did that? I got acquisitio. Okay? So I did 4 coin tosses while thinking of the question. The first one I got tails, then I got heads. Tails is 2 dots. I flipped it again, I got heads, which is 1 dot. I flipped it again, I got tails, which is 2 dots. And then I flipped it again, I got heads, which is 1 dot. So these 4 coin tosses have given you a geomantic figure. There's 16 geomantic figures. This one is called acquisitio. That's a very good thing to get. Now, when you're questioning planetary spirits, when you're using geomancy to communicate with spirits, it's the same basic process, except that you'll put the spirit sigil and you'll call out the spirit name, and then you can do your coin toss, or you could do a series of dots. So we've done our geomantic figure. So what did you guys get? Guys and gals, what did y'all get? I got acquisitio. Alright, so geomancy was often used in classical magic. So that's just starting the video out today. But today I wanted to talk about astral projection for working with spirits. And this is another way that we can have a back and forth communication. You know, not everyone is a good scryer. John Dee, as much of a great magician as he was not a scryer. That's why he worked with Edward Kelly. If you look at the Greek magical papyri, if you look at the hygromantia, if you look in the various grimoires, it'll often say to use a scryer. I don't agree with it. I don't think you should work with children with these things. I just wouldn't. But a lot of times the grimoires say to use a young child to scry. I wouldn't do that because, first of all, I don't think we should be like putting our own thoughts into someone at an impressionable age. And then also, some children, not all, some of them tend to tell tall tales, okay? Tend to lie a little bit. But you see it a lot in the grimoires. It's assumed that you're going to use a scryer. Okay? Now, I know that scrying does work. It is something that you could work on and develop. But also, there are other methods. Geomancy. This is one way to part the veil a little bit and to have a back and forth communication with the spirits. The second good one is astral projection. Astral projection. Now, I personally would not astral project with just any spirit. Not every entity is your friend. And some spirits can be hot or a little bit unpredictable. Some spirits can be more hot or a little bit more fiery than others. I would be careful what spirits you work with, but I found planetary intelligences and things, and I found the Shem angels absolutely to be good for astral projection methods. Now, there are 2 main forms of astral projection. One is the full out-of-body experience like everyone wants to have, where it seems as real as this right now. It is there is no awareness of the body. You don't feel your body. You are fully, or seem to be fully out. Now, whether this is an actual astral projection or lucid dream, there are different opinions, but that is one way. That is rather difficult for many people to do on demand. Usually the methods involve some form of disassociating ourselves from our physical body. For example, the body is still, but you imagine that you are climbing a rope or going up a ladder or swimming or falling. So somehow you focus on disassociating yourself from the physical body. The second way, which some people think is just new age, it's nonsense, it's just traveling in your mind, but I personally have found very good results with, is to simply visualize that you are leaving your body and go up, 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 up until you're above the earth, and then see what spirits approach. You may still feel your body, but I personally think this is valid. Even if you don't have some full out of body, I think that the visualizing that you're leaving your body and going and having an interaction, I personally have had some very interesting results, and I personally think that it's valid. I recommend that people try it out. Try it out. See what you think. If you're able to do the full-on out-of-body easily, then do that. But if not, just try this method out. Visualize that you're leaving your body, go have an interaction. Now, whether or not this is objectively real, it could be that you could still sense your body while being partially up there in the aethers. Second of all, it could also be that you're not all distracted with the room, with your body. You're not all focused on, you're kind of in an exalted state, right? It could be, even if it is in your head, that it's like in this deeper meditative state, you're able to have an interaction. But I really recommend that people try astral projection with your spirits or deities that you're working with. I've used it a lot with the Shem angels to very interesting results. If you're going to do astral projection in this way, I recommend taking a shower or a bath, some type of cleansing of yourself physically. Also, to sprinkle the area where you'll be doing this. If it's your bed, sprinkle your bed with holy water, incense your bed. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but you want to do some type of cleansing of yourself in the area. I think it's totally fine to take a shower, sprinkle some blessed water on your bed, wave some incense around yourself and around the bed. I recommend having a bedside altar. Now, be careful of falling asleep with fire, okay? You don't, if there's a danger of falling asleep, you may have to figure something else out, or set an alarm in case you do fall asleep. But cleansing of yourself in the area, a bedside altar, and an invocation of the spirit. So I recommend lighting some candles, lighting some incense by your bed, calling the spirit's name. Tell the spirit you want to have a communication with astral projection, and then lie down, visualize that you're leaving your body, go up, up, up above the earth, and then have your interaction. See what happens. And it may be, now I do think it's important to be critical. I do think it's important to not just assume that something is objectively real. But that comes later. I think it's important, just my opinion, when you're working magic, in the moment, you need to momentarily suspend disbelief. We want to get through that critical factor for the moment. You want to be immersed in it. You want to feel that it's real in the moment. But once you return and come back and you write down your experience, then it's time to keep our feet planted on the ground and to think about, was that real? Was it just in my head? I think that's important to do after the fact. First, you want an intense experience. And, Agrippa talks about the importance of believing in your workings. Picatrix talks about the importance of having a firm conviction and faith and belief. So, like I said, I think it's important to believe in your working in the moment. Suspend disbelief. Just have faith that it's working. And then later on, when you come back and you write down what happened, then you could start bringing in this critical factor. Because we don't want to just assume things are real when really we're just talking with ourselves. So, cleansing of yourself, cleansing of the area. I do a lot of repetition in my videos, but it's intentional. Cleansing of yourself, cleansing of the area. A bedside altar. Light the candles. Call upon the spirit. Okay? So this is like a link. Yes, you are going up, but you're also calling down. You're grabbing the attention of the spirit. and then go up and try to have some type of an interaction. Sometimes it may not happen right away. Sometimes you may have to do this daily and search after the spirit or entity for a few days until you have a powerful eureka moment. But I think it's very useful to have these types of tools. Scrying crystals. I think everyone should try to scry. Everyone, I think, should try to scry. I recommend having some type of a magic circle marked on the ground with divine protective names before trying to scry in a crystal. Geomancy. Calling upon the spirit, or you can use geomancy without that, like we did today. And then things like astral projection. It's important, in my opinion, to try all of these different tools, okay? So learning to scry, learning to do the astral projection method. So basically, take a shower, cleanse the area. The more that you put into the working, the more you'll get out of it. Cleanse yourself, cleanse the area, have a bedside altar. I would set an alarm. If there's a danger of falling asleep, you don't want to just fall asleep with lit candles. I would set an alarm, an hour, whatever, just in case you fall asleep. Bedside altar, call upon the spirit or deity, invoke it. And then go up and have your interaction. I think it's good to use this method every day. And when you return, I think it's good to eat a meal. Perhaps leave part of the food as an offering to the spirit, if you have that kind of a thing. And then always, it's important. The main danger with ritual magic is losing touch with their everyday mundane reality. So it's important to keep your feet planted on the ground, to remain in this everyday world that we're in while having these practices. You're learning to kind of walk between the veils, being a little bit in both worlds. So that's why you really have to be careful. Everyone could probably get some result out of this. But the danger is being led away by your results and going off into the land of fantasy and illusion. But anyways, I wanted to make this video because I really want people to try out astral projection with your spirits, okay? Again, I wouldn't do this with just any spirit. You can try the full-on astral projection by disassociating yourself with your body, or you can just use the method that I talk about here. Visualize that you leave your body, go up and have your interaction. Follow the symbols, the colors, follow the things. If you don't go up and immediately see the spirit, maybe you're calling upon an earth spirit. Maybe you don't see the spirit, but you see a green color. Green could be associated with earth. Go towards that green light. Okay, you may see leaves. I'm using an example of calling upon some type of earth spirit or deity. Go deeper into the leaves, okay? Go deep. Follow the symbols that are associated with the deity. It's like little breadcrumbs, right? Or if you're calling upon a solar entity, if you don't go up and immediately see a spirit to interact with, you may see a golden light. Follow that golden light. Go deeper. You may see more and more solar things. Go deeper, deeper, deeper. You're going into their realm, into their domain. So it's not always about getting the spirits to come to us. Sometimes we ourselves can storm the heavens and go to them and get used to these subtler planes of being. And some, with a more psychological view of magic, would say more subtle aspects of ourselves. And maybe there's not so much of a distinction between these things. Tomato, tomato. Whatever it is, what results are you getting? So anyways, that's just a quick video for y'all today on astral projection. I really encourage people to try this out. And in my videos, have a coin handy, because I think that we're going to start making geomantic figures again in these videos. So that'll be a good practice. we'll be doing little geomancy to start off our videos, and we'll start that again. So that's just a quick video for y'all today. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me take a look, see if I have any comments here. No, I've got plenty of viewers today, but not a whole lot of comments. Alright, y'all, so that's it for today. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Have a great day, y'all.